ask you a question. Imagine this. It is the year 2030. You are sitting in front of your laptop. Or maybe you are standing in a quiet cafe. Or maybe you are walking outside with your headphones on, listening to a meeting. Your team is not in one country, not in one time zone, not even awake at the same time. And suddenly, you need to speak. Not just speak English, but speak clearly, calmly, confidently, not to impress, not to sound smart, but to be understood. This is the future of work, and most people are not ready for it. They still use English like it is 2010. They still wait for permission to speak. They still sound unsure, even when they have good ideas. Today, I want to help you change that. In this episode, you will learn 5 English phrases that future workplaces will expect you to know. These are not fancy phrases. They are not textbook English. They are not grammar tricks. These are phrases used by people who think clearly, work independently, and communicate with direction. People who sound ready for the future. Listen carefully. Pause when you need. Repeat out loud if you can. Because this is not passive listening. This is training. Let us begin. Phrase number 1. I'll take ownership of this. Let me say it again. I'll take ownership of this. This phrase is powerful, but it is also calm. In the future workplace, no one wants someone who only waits for instructions. Managers will not say, "Please do this now." They will say, "We need this done." And then they wait. This is the moment where most people stay silent. But future-ready professionals do something different. They say, "I'll take ownership of this." This sentence means several things at the same time. It means, I understand the task. I accept responsibility. I will not disappear. I will follow through. Notice something important. You are not saying, "I will try." You are not saying, "I think I can." You are not saying, "Maybe." You are saying, "I'll take ownership." Ownership is a future word. It shows maturity. It shows trust. Now listen to this example. We need someone to handle the client feedback by Friday. I'll take ownership of this. I'll review the feedback, summarize the key points, and update everyone by Thursday. Do you hear the difference? This person sounds calm, clear, reliable. Now your turn. Say it slowly. I'll take ownership of this. Again. I'll take ownership of this. Good. Phrase number 2. Let's align on expectations. Let me repeat it. Let's align on expectations. In the future, misunderstanding will be expensive. Teams will be global. Schedules will be flexible. Messages will be short. And because of that, clarity becomes everything. This phrase helps you avoid confusion before it becomes a problem. Let's align on expectations. You can use this phrase at the beginning of a project, in the middle of a task, or when something feels unclear. It does not sound aggressive. It does not sound defensive. It sounds professional. Listen to this example. Before we move forward, let's align on expectations. What does success look like for you? And what is the deadline? This is future-ready English. You are not blaming. You are not guessing. You are asking for clarity. Now listen carefully. Many learners are afraid of this phrase because they think it sounds too strong. But in reality, leaders love this phrase because it prevents mistakes. Now repeat after me. Let's align on expectations. Again, let's align on expectations. Excellent. Phrase number 3. I'll follow up with a summary. Let me say it again. I'll follow up with a summary. In future workplaces, meetings will be shorter, messages will be faster, and people will forget. This phrase makes you stand out immediately. It shows that you are organized. It shows that you think in structure. You are not just listening, you are processing. Listen to this example. Thanks everyone for the discussion. I'll follow up with a summary and the next steps by the end of the day. This sentence is simple, but it creates trust. Now, let's break it down. Follow up means you will continue the action. A summary means you will organize the information. This phrase works in emails, in meetings, in voice messages. Now repeat slowly. I'll follow up with a summary. Again. I'll follow up with a summary. Good. Phrase number 4. Here's my current thinking. Listen carefully. Here's my current thinking. This phrase is extremely important for the future. Why? Because the future is uncertain. People no longer expect perfection. They expect progress. This phrase tells others, this is not final. This can change. But this is where I am right now. It sounds confident, but flexible. Listen to this example. Here's my current thinking. We focus on the core features first, launch a small version, and adjust based on feedback. Do you hear how mature this sounds? You are not saying, this is the only way. You are saying, this is my thinking for now. This invites collaboration. Now repeat. Here's my current thinking. Again. Here's my current thinking. Very good. Phrase number 5. Let me flag a potential risk. Listen carefully. Let me flag a potential risk. In future workplaces, problems are not hidden. They are surfaced early. This phrase allows you to speak up without sounding negative. You are not saying, this is wrong. You are saying, there is something we should notice. Listen to this example. Let me flag a potential risk. If we delay testing, we might face issues after launch. This is not complaining. This is leadership. Now repeat. Let me flag a potential risk. Again. Let me flag a potential risk. Excellent. Now, let us bring everything together. These 5 phrases are not advanced English, but they are advanced communication. They show ownership, clarity, structure, flexibility, awareness. This is what future workplaces value. Not perfect grammar, not fast speaking, but clear thinking, expressed calmly. Before we end, I want you to do one thing. Choose one phrase, just one, and imagine yourself using it tomorrow, in a meeting, in an email, in a message. Say it out loud, slowly, confidently, because the future does not belong to people who know more English. It belongs to people who use English with intention. In the next part, I will show you how to practice these phrases in real workplace situations, with realistic examples and speaking patterns. I will talk more about that in the long video. Take a deep breath. You are preparing for the future, and you are not late. You are right on time. Now let us move forward. You already know the 5 phrases. You already understand their meaning. But knowing is not enough. In the future workplace, what matters is how you use them in real situations. So, in this part, we will practice, slowly, clearly, with intention. Imagine real moments, real pressure, real decisions, and you will hear how these phrases sound when used naturally. Let us start with a common situation, a remote team meeting, different time zones, different cultures, different expectations. The manager speaks first. We need to improve the onboarding experience for new users. It's becoming a problem. Silence. This silence is very common. Many people are thinking, but no one is speaking. Now listen to the future-ready response. I'll take ownership of this. I'll review the current onboarding flow, identify the main pain points, and propose improvements by next week. Notice the structure. First, ownership. Second, action. Third, timeline. This is how you sound dependable. Now pause. Say it out loud. I'll take ownership of this. Add one action. I'll take ownership of this. I'll review the process and share my findings. Good. This is how confidence sounds. Not loud, not rushed, but clear. Now let us move to another situation. A project has already started, but something feels unclear. Deadlines, responsibilities, quality standards. This is where many mistakes happen. Instead of guessing, future-ready professionals ask for alignment. Listen. Before we move forward, let's align on expectations. What does success look like for this project? And when do you need the final version? This sentence can save weeks of confusion. Notice the tone. Calm, respectful, direct. Now repeat slowly. Let's align on expectations. Add context. Let's align on expectations before we continue. Very good. Remember this. Clarity is not rude. Unclear communication is. Next situation. The meeting is ending. Everyone sounds busy. Everyone sounds rushed. This is your moment. Listen carefully. Thanks, everyone. I'll follow up with the summary and outline the next steps so we're all on the same page. This sentence creates structure after chaos. You become the person who brings order. Now repeat. I'll follow up with a summary. Add more. I'll follow up with a summary by the end of the day. Excellent. This is Leadership English. Now let us talk about thinking out loud. Many learners believe they must speak only when they are 100% sure. But the future workplace does not work like that. Ideas evolve. Plans change. Feedback matters. This is why this phrase is so powerful. Here's my current thinking. Listen to this example. Here's my current thinking. We start with a small pilot, collect feedback, and then scale if it works. Do you hear the openness? You are sharing direction, not forcing decisions. Now repeat. Here's my current thinking. Again. Here's my current thinking. Good. You are allowed to think out loud in English. Now we move to a more difficult moment. Risk. Many people avoid talking about risks because they fear sounding negative. But in the future workplace, early warnings are valuable. Listen carefully. Let me flag a potential risk. If we rely on a single supplier, we may face delays later. This sentence is calm, professional, responsible. You are not creating fear. You are creating awareness. Now repeat. Let me flag a potential risk. Again. Let me flag a potential risk. Excellent. Now let us combine multiple phrases in one natural conversation. Listen carefully. We need to launch this feature quickly, but quality is important. Here's my current thinking. I'll take ownership of the testing phase, but let me flag a potential risk. If we rush too much, we may miss critical bugs. Let's align on expectations around the launch date. This is future-ready English. You sound thoughtful, balanced, reliable. Now pause. Breathe. Imagine yourself saying this. Next, let us slow down and focus on speaking patterns. In future workplaces, how you speak is as important as what you say. Do not rush. Leave space between ideas. For example, I'll take ownership of this. Pause. I'll update everyone by Friday. This pause shows control. Practice this now. Say one phrase, pause, then continue. This is calm confidence. Now, I want you to do a short reflection. Think about your work, or your studies, or your future career. Which situation appears most often? Is it taking responsibility, clarifying expectations, summarizing discussions, sharing ideas, or flagging risks. Choose one. Focus on it. This is how you improve faster. Let us do a short guided practice. Listen. I'll take ownership of this. Repeat. I'll take ownership of this. Now add detail. I'll take ownership of this and share an update tomorrow. Good. Next phrase. Let's align on expectations. Repeat. Let's align on expectations before we continue. Excellent. Next. I'll follow up with a summary. Repeat. I'll follow up with a summary after the meeting. Very good. Next. Here's my current thinking. Repeat. Here's my current thinking, and I'm open to feedback. Perfect. Next. Let me flag a potential risk. Repeat. Let me flag a potential risk we should consider. Well done. Now let us talk about mindset. Future-ready English is not about sounding native. It is about sounding intentional. You do not need complex vocabulary. You do not need fast speed. You need clarity, structure, calm. These 5 phrases help you do that. They give you a framework. When you feel nervous, return to structure. When you feel unsure, return to clarity. Before we finish, I want to give you a simple challenge. For the next 7 days, use 1 phrase per day. Day 1. I'll take ownership of this. Day 2. Let's align on expectations. Day 3. I'll follow up with a summary. Day 4. Here's my current thinking. Day 5. Let me flag a potential risk. Repeat them, rotate them, make them yours. This is how language becomes skill. In the next episode, we will go even deeper. We will practice tone, sentence stress, and real workplace dialogues. I will talk more about that in the long video. For now, take a moment. You are not learning English to pass a test. You are learning English to lead your future. And you are doing it, one calm sentence at a time. Now you are ready to go deeper. In the previous parts, you learned the phrases, you practiced them, you felt their rhythm. In this part, we move into reality. Real conversations, real pressure, real English. Because the future workplace does not give you time to translate in your head. You must respond calmly, naturally, with confidence. Let us begin. First, let us step into a real meeting. Imagine this. A virtual meeting. 8 people, different countries, different accents. The discussion is moving fast. Someone says, "We're behind schedule. We need a solution." This is a critical moment. Many people freeze here. But listen to this response. Here's my current thinking. I'll take ownership of coordinating the next steps, but let me flag a potential risk. If we move too fast, quality might suffer. So let's align on expectations before we commit to a new deadline. This is advanced communication, not because of vocabulary, but because of structure. Now pause. Listen again in your mind. You start with thinking. You show ownership. You flag risk. You ask for alignment. This is how professionals speak. Now repeat slowly. Here's my current thinking. Pause. I'll take ownership of this. Pause. Let me flag a potential risk. Pause. Let's align on expectations. Excellent. Now let us move to another common situation. Asynchronous communication, messages, emails, project tools. In the future, most communication will not be live, and clarity becomes even more important. Listen to this message. Hi everyone, I'll take ownership of reviewing the proposal. I'll follow up with a summary and recommended next steps by tomorrow. If anything changes, I'll let you know. This message is short, but very powerful. Why? Because it reduces anxiety. Everyone knows who is responsible, what will happen, when it will happen. This is future-ready writing. Now repeat one sentence. I'll follow up with a summary. Again. I'll follow up with a summary by tomorrow. Good. Now let us talk about tone. Tone is invisible, but it changes everything. The same sentence can sound confident or insecure depending on how you say it. Listen carefully. I'll take ownership of this. Say it fast. It sounds nervous. Now say it slowly. I'll take ownership of this. Do you hear the difference? Slow is confident. Calm is powerful. In future workplaces, people trust calm voices. Practice now. Say the sentence. Pause. Then continue. This is quiet power. Now let us look at common mistakes. Mistake number 1. Saying, I will try. For example, I will try to handle this. This sounds uncertain. Compare it with, I'll take ownership of this. The second one sounds committed. Future workplaces value commitment. Mistake number 2. Avoiding clarity. For example, I think maybe this could work. Too soft, too unclear. Instead, say, here's my current thinking. This could work, but I'm open to feedback. Now you sound thoughtful, not weak. Mistake number 3. Hiding risks. Some people stay silent because they want to be polite, but silence can create bigger problems. Instead of silence, say, let me flag a potential risk. This sentence protects the team, and it protects you. Mistake number 4. Talking too much. Future-ready English is concise. Say less, mean more. One clear sentence is better than 5 vague ones. Now, let us practice a full dialogue. Listen carefully. Manager. We need to decide today. Can we launch next week? You. Here's my current thinking. I'll take ownership of the final review, but let me flag a potential risk. If testing is rushed, we may face issues after launch. Let's align on expectations around quality versus speed. This response shows leadership. You are not saying no. You are guiding the decision. Now imagine yourself saying this. Breathe. Speak slowly. Trust your words. Now, another dialogue. Team member. I'm not sure who is responsible for this task. You. I'll take ownership of this. I'll follow up with a summary so everyone is clear on the next steps. Simple, clear, effective. Now let us slow down and focus on sentence stress. Stress the important words. For example, I'll take ownership of this. Let's align on expectations. I'll follow up with a summary. Practice stressing the key words. This makes your English sound intentional. Now, a short reflection. Future-ready English is not about dominating conversations. It is about guiding them. You guide with clarity, with calm, with responsibility. These phrases help you do that. Before we close, I want you to imagine your future self. 2 years from now, 5 years from now. You are in a meeting. People listen when you speak. Not because you speak loudly, but because you speak clearly. You pause. You choose your words. You sound grounded. This is not talent. This is practice. And you're practicing now. In the next part, we will go even deeper. We will train real-time responses, sentence transformation, and shadowing exercises to lock these phrases into your natural speaking style. I will talk more about that in the long video. For now, take a deep breath. You are not behind. You are building a future-ready voice, one calm sentence at a time. Now we stop learning, and we start training. Because the difference between knowing English and using English is repetition. In the future workplace, You will not have time to think about grammar. You will respond automatically. This part is about that. First, let us talk about shadowing. Shadowing means you listen and you speak at the same time. Not perfectly, not fast, just connected. When you shadow, you train rhythm, tone, confidence. So now, do not rush. Follow the pace. Listen. I'll take ownership of this. Say it with me. I'll take ownership of this. Again. I'll take ownership of this. Now slower. I'll take ownership of this. Good. Now add a pause. I'll take ownership of this. I'll update everyone by Friday. Repeat. Good. This is how responsibility sounds. Now next phrase. Let's align on expectations. Listen. Let's align on expectations. Repeat. Let's align on expectations. Again. Let's align on expectations before we move forward. Very good. This sentence creates safety, not pressure. Now next. I'll follow up with a summary. Listen. I'll follow up with a summary. Repeat. I'll follow up with a summary. Again. I'll follow up with a summary by the end of the day. Good. This is structure. This is leadership. Now next. Here's my current thinking. Listen. Here's my current thinking. Repeat. Here's my current thinking. Again. Here's my current thinking, and I'm open to feedback. Excellent. This phrase invites collaboration. Now the last one. Let me flag a potential risk. Listen carefully. Let me flag a potential risk. Repeat. Let me flag a potential risk. Again. Let me flag a potential risk we should consider. Very good. You are doing well. Now, let us move to transformation practice. This is important. You will learn how to change weak English into future-ready English. Listen to the weak version. I think I can try to do this. Now listen to the future-ready version. I'll take ownership of this. Feel the difference. One is uncertain, one is clear. Now repeat the strong version. I'll take ownership of this. Another weak sentence. Maybe we should talk about this. Future-ready version. Let's align on expectations. Repeat. Let's align on expectations. Another one. I will send something later. Future-ready version. I'll follow up with a summary. Repeat. I'll follow up with a summary. Another weak sentence. This is just my idea. Future-ready version. Here's my current thinking. Repeat. Here's my current thinking. Another weak sentence. There might be a problem. Future-ready version. Let me flag a potential risk. Repeat. Let me flag a potential risk. Now, let us practice speed control. Do not speak faster when you feel nervous. Speak slower. Listen. I'll take ownership of this. Pause. I'll follow up with a summary. Pause. Let's align on expectations. This pace signals confidence. Practice this sequence. Go slowly. Now, real-time response drill. Imagine someone says, "We need someone to handle this." You respond, "I'll take ownership of this." Good. Next. Someone says, "I'm not sure what success looks like." You respond, "Let's align on expectations." Good. Next. Someone says, "That meeting was confusing." You respond, "I'll follow up with a summary." Good. Next. Someone says, "What's your idea?" You respond, "Here's my current thinking." Good. Next. Someone says, "This plan feels risky." You respond, "Let me flag a potential risk." Excellent. This is reflex training. Now combine two phrases. Listen. I'll take ownership of this, and I'll follow up with a summary. Repeat. Good. Another. Here's my current thinking, but let me flag a potential risk. Repeat. Good. Another. Let's align on expectations before I take ownership of this. Repeat. Very good. Now, let us talk about silence. Silence is not weakness. After you speak, pause. Let your words land. Future-ready professionals do not fill every second. They speak. Then they wait. Practice this. Say one sentence. Pause for 2 seconds. Then continue. This pause creates authority. Now, imagine a real future moment. You are in a meeting. Your heart is beating. People are watching. You breathe. You say, "Here's my current thinking." Pause. "I'll take ownership of this." Pause. "But let me flag a potential risk." Pause. Let's align on expectations before we move forward. This is calm leadership. Now, a final mindset shift. You are not learning English to sound impressive. You are learning English to sound clear. Clarity builds trust. Trust builds opportunity. These phrases are tools. Use them gently. Use them often. In the next part, we will close this topic with full simulations, long dialogues, and a final consolidation, so these phrases stay with you long after this episode ends. I will talk more about that in the long video. For now, take a moment. Notice your voice. It is steadier, clearer, more intentional. You are not just learning English. You are training a future-ready voice. Now we bring everything together. This is not about learning something new. This is about making everything stay. In this final part, you will hear full simulations, longer conversations, natural flow. This is how these phrases live inside real English. Let us begin with a full meeting simulation. Imagine this: a weekly strategy meeting, remote, cameras on, time is limited. The manager speaks. "We need to improve collaboration across teams. Things feel disconnected." You listen, you breathe, and then you speak. "Here's my current thinking. The main issue is clarity. People are working hard, but expectations are not always aligned. I'll take ownership of mapping out where communication breaks down, and I'll follow up with the summary and some proposals by next week." Silence. Not uncomfortable silence. Respectful silence. People are processing. Then someone responds. "That sounds helpful." This is the moment you have influence. Now the conversation continues. Another team member says, "I'm worried this will slow us down." You respond calmly. "Let me flag a potential risk. If we move too quickly without alignment, we may create more confusion. So let's align on expectations first, then move fast together." This is leadership language. You are not opposing, you are guiding. Now, let us move to an email simulation. Listen carefully. "Hi everyone. Following up on today's discussion, I'll take ownership of the next steps. I'll follow up with a summary and a clear timeline by tomorrow. If anything changes, I'll flag it early so we can adjust." This email is short, but it carries trust. People feel safe when they read this. Now, a one-on-one conversation. Your manager says, "How do you feel about your workload?" You respond, "Here's my current thinking. I'm comfortable taking ownership of the core tasks, but let me flag a potential risk. If priorities shift too often, it may impact quality. So I'd like to align on expectations for the next 2 weeks." This is mature communication. You are not complaining. You are collaborating. Now, let us slow everything down. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself 6 months from now. You speak English daily. You are not perfect, but you are calm. When uncertainty appears, you do not panic. You return to structure. You say, "Here's my current thinking." When responsibility appears, you say, I'll take ownership of this. When confusion appears, you say, let's align on expectations. When information is messy, you say, I'll follow up with a summary. When risk appears, you say, let me flag a potential risk. These sentences become anchors. Now, let us do one final speaking drill. Say each sentence slowly. Pause between them. I'll take ownership of this. Pause. Let's align on expectations. Pause. I'll follow up with a summary. Pause. Here's my current thinking. Pause. Let me flag a potential risk. Good. This is your core set. Now, let us reflect. Most people think fluency means speed. It does not. Fluency means control. You control your pace, your tone, your message, and control creates confidence. One last simulation. A difficult moment. Someone challenges your idea. I don't think this will work. You do not defend immediately. You pause. You respond. Here's my current thinking. I understand the concern. Let me flag a potential risk we should consider, but I still believe this approach is worth testing. Let's align on expectations and define clear criteria for success. This response is calm, balanced, strong. Now, this series is complete. You have learned more than 5 phrases. You have learned a way of speaking, a way of thinking. Future-ready English is not about having all the answers. It is about responding with clarity when answers are still forming. Before we end, I want you to remember this. You are not late. You are preparing. Every time you speak calmly, every time you choose clarity, you are training a future version of yourself. That future version is confident, grounded, trusted, and it starts with one clear sentence. Take a deep breath. You are ready.